Hello and welcome to this piano lesson. I am Gabriel Ruiz-Bernal and today we're going to work on one of Chopin Preludes, the number 4 in E minor. If you would like to follow along with the score, you will find it on this link and it will have all the markings that correspond to this lesson. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the relationship between the right hand with the melody and the left hand playing chords. It's very easy for these chords to be overpowering the melody, and then the melody have to be too hard to be able to play over the chords. So to do that, we're going to talk about how to play these chords. We're going to keep your fingers always in contact with the keys. And we're going to be activating the chords very gently and not resetting the chords every time you reach the top of the key. This way, we'll be able to keep the hammers very close to the strings and get a sound that is more gentle than if we reset the keys all the way up every time we play the chords. So this is what it looks like. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to actually learn these chords. It's far more efficient if when you are learning the piece and you are starting to get familiar with the notes, you don't spend a lot of time just repeating the chords, but you focus on the changes. So your first chord is this one. But then the next thing that happens is the F sharp and the A. Then the next thing that happens is the E flat. Then the F natural, then the D, the G sharp, the E, G natural, C sharp, and C. This is simplifying your thought process and is allowing you to learn this piece a lot quicker. So once you have learned it like that, then you put together all the chords. Then you think of the leading notes. So by doing this, you are creating direction within the chords, but we don't need this to be too strong, because the attention is actually going to go to the right hand. So all this is going to happen subtle. It's going to be just in the background. Then let's talk about the melody. The melody has, in the beginning, just 2 notes. Back and forth, right? The way we want to make this interesting is by making it more human. Try to make these 2 notes something related to a basic function of the human body, which is breathing. So notice this. If every time the B is in a relaxed position, we're going to breathe out. Then the C is the one that starts the tension that is resolved in the B. So we're going to breathe in with the C. So it will be something like this. We breathe in with the first note and then breathe out. Breathe in here, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. See? By doing this, the melody that was so simple now has become much more meaningful. So now let's talk about the rest of it. The same happens as you continue advancing. So you're going to be applying this breathe in and breathe out cadences, keeping the piece not rushed. So if you continue with this section, breathe in, change, rushing here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then we arrive to this small fermata or small cadence. Alright, so this small cadence here has to be very well connected. So make sure that your fingers are doing the legato. Even if you use a small touch of pedal, which sometimes is recommended, but it's really not, you don't want to have an aura of pedal around this note. So it has to be very intimate and very small. So everything very well connected. So we arrive there. Okay? So remember that. And then when we continue, we're going to keep following the same type of technique that we have talked about already, because the continuation of this piece is based on the same material. But the difference is that now the changes are going to happen much more quickly. So when you were lingering on a chord for longer time, now we're going to be making the changes quicker, and the tensions are going to be much higher because we are going to approach now the climatic section of the piece. So when you arrive to the E minor again, distribute the energy, because here comes, and then that's unexpected. So reflect it and keep it with energy. And then this is unexpected too. And then in this measure is where we are going to start preparing the climax. We have one measure to make it possible. So here we go. Right, so what's the goal with arriving to this climax section? One of the goals is not to lose control, because oftentimes you will see that the impulse you want to do is to slam the bass and give huge power chords in here. But remember that this piece is a very intimate piece. Even in the climatic section, still has to keep some of that intimacy. So keep it controlled, don't overpower the piece. And then when you arrive to these, make a singer. Make sure that through the entire thing, the melody on the right hand is still singing, is singing through. It's not just hammering notes after notes, okay? So when I arrive to the intensity is going down. Voicing. And now this is an unexpected turn. Because normally that's where it will go back to E minor and it will resolve. Because basically this is the end of the piece. From this point on, we just have a coda and we just go to the end. So why do we have this coda? Because the climax is so close to the end that it can't climax and then the piece ends a couple of measures later. It needs time to discharge all this energy gradually, and that's why this section exists, this coda here. So then after we have arrived to that section, then we go to the final chords. For the final chords, we are coming from here. We have a period of silence, and then we prepare the chords. Touch every note with your fingers, don't leave it to chance, because then you want to have control and you want to also be able to voice the top. Notice one more detail. Keep your hands on the last chord until the sound is off. So you release the pedal and the hands at the same time, and then you calmly put them on your lap or so. So don't and with this we have seen a brief approach of the Prelude in E minor by Chopin. We have the score in this link, so you can follow all the notes that I have written in it. And for the next piece, just stay tuned and we will continue working together. Thank you for being here, and I will see you at the next lesson. Thank you.